and welcome to Nerd Goblinart. I'm Lula. This is one of two moulds I got from Beebeecraft. They were very kind in sending them to me. They're meant to be, well, mirrors. I'm using Teexpert. It's a 1-to-1 resin, fab resin. I really enjoy using it. And I'm going to be adding purple and green mica powders. I will be stirring these in. I'm just making sure they're more of an even split, really. I'm winging this. I didn't have a plan, a full plan when starting this. I didn't even know how I was going to be pouring into this mould, but I figured that type of thing is great fun, and I enjoy that kind of thing myself. I'm just having a play, really, just a little experiment to see what it looks like. And Jules on the Resonator recently done a dream catcher. And she reminded me how much I love purple and green together. Excuse me. So I decided, going off, she done inks, but I'm doing mica powders. So thank you, Jules, for reminding me how much I love purple and green together. So that is what I'm going to be using in these moulds. I'm also mixing them up thoroughly. I'm not worried about using my debubbler on this occasion because I can spray isopropyl alcohol into this mould because I'm just pouring the resin in. So the Beebeecraft affiliate, if you have 100 or more subscribers, you can apply to Beebeecraft. You agree to make so many videos showing what you have ordered. You get to choose what you order as well, which is awesome. So yeah, go for it. The link is in my description box. So, you know, it's it helps you, it helps them, everybody's happy. So I'm just giving this a spray with isopropyl alcohol, and you just saw me giving it a little bit of a wipe out. I have cats, as many of you know. So all I gotta do is pull out a silicone mould, and the cats might not. I don't have the cats in the room when I'm pouring resin and mixing resin. It just appears. It's like magic. So, like I said, I wasn't entirely sure how I wanted to tackle this one. So I'm just kind of going for it. Yeah, but I like it. It's lots of in and outing, and I actually quite enjoyed doing this. It was quite fun. So I'm going to play you some music while I finish off filling up this mould.
Under neon skies we walk and dream, building worlds with words inside screens, catching fire from the fading spark, streetlights glowing pain in the dark. In the chaos of our secret plan, we defy the rules we understand, turn the blank into a masterpiece with nothing more than just our belief. We love the way we make it real, change the scene with a brush of steel, breathing life into SOPs with nothing more than just out there, but there. bleed. From the shadows of the night we're free. We create the stars and skies of gray, drawing futures in the light of day.
So this mould has taken the full 8 fluid ounces that I mixed up. So it's a fairly fair sized one. And you can see there that I'm just making sure that I'm going in and out, and I've used my silicone tool, the pointy end, to just make sure a few of the edges and to make sure that the resin has gone down all the way to the ends. I also decided to do a little swirly whirl because why not? The resin's gonna do what it's gonna do, and just doing this because this is the back, you know. I suppose if you go deep enough, I don't know, but this is the back, and I'm just having fun. I'm quite enjoying myself, actually. It would be awesome if it did stay like that and it was like it on the other side, but yeah, I did enjoy this, actually. And you'll find with the green, it's got a gorgeous bit of a gold hue to it as well. So it's not actually, it is just a mica powder, it isn't a chameleon or anything. So it's a very nice Let's Resin one to use. So I'm just using my heat gun, and that's just to pop any bubbles. I couldn't see that many coming up, but you know, this the resin from Teexpert, it is pretty good. So can you hear the cat purring? I'm wondering if you can hear him. He's allowed to be with me now because there's no resin and I'm not in the studio. I'm in the warmth of my bedroom. So we're going to let that cure. So there we go. It's cured. And we're going to pull them all out. I did put it on the heat mat because we've learnt by now that I am impatient. I don't like waiting. It's actually a really easy one to unmould as well. There we go, nice and cleanly away. Very nice mould, really nice mould. And let's turn him over. Ooh, I really like it. I kind of wish there was more green as well, like on the back is, you know, and it flared out more. So I'm done. There we go, finished. Nah, I'm just joking. So I'm not putting a mirror in this. I got canvas on a roll. Magic. I'm like a wizard. Like a wizard. So I decided to do something a little bit different. Yes, the mould can be used for creating a mirror. When you order them from Beebeecraft, they don't come with the mirror. As usual, and it's my fault, I did not check the listing. Like maybe that's something I should do for 2025. I should start properly reading like descriptions and stuff on websites. But they are easily gotten. You can get them from Beebeecraft. You can also get them from Amazon and all sorts of places like that. But nah, I don't like mirrors. It shows my face. So I would much rather do something a bit different. And I'm going to do a painting. So I've just mixing in dioxine purple and titanium white. I think you saw that it was darker on the edges, and then I've added the white. It did have a dry in between. I just edited it out. So while it was dry, I just started adding some swirls. I don't know why I'm doing the swirls right in the middle, because that bit's going to be covered, but I just thought it was a point of interest, because if I don't cover all of it, it's still interesting to look at. But this is the background, and all it is, as I said, is dioxine purple and titanium white. Being quite loose as well, really. It's just going around. And I've blue tacked this. This is canvas on a roll. I pick canvas up on a roll from a discount shop that's near me. It's called Biology. I have seen them in many different places and online, but it's really handy to have. And this particular one I've never had an issue with, actually. I've used it for many things, even as a runner, to create a runner for my table in the shop. You know, that has the Nerd Goblin symbol and everything on it, you know, my logo, I should say. So yeah, it's handy to have because you can do what I've done and just cut it to size. And you can have whatever size you like. And obviously, a bit more difficult trying to cut up a board. So I'm just using my hairdryer and I have it on the cool setting. Why, might you ask? Well, if it's hot, you won't necessarily realise it. And, you know, if the paint is dry on top and you assume it's dry on top, it may not necessarily be dry on the bottom, you know, and you could cause colour shift and it just means more work for you. So try and use your cool setting if you are impatient like me and insist on using a hairdryer. Now, I need to paint something because it's in an awesome frame. It has to be something that really, really is important to me, really special. So this is my Dritz tool. It is a tailor's tool. I bought this on Amazon. If I can, I will link you one in the description box below. I find them incredibly handy. I don't like using pencils on canvas or anything because I do think that it can affect your paint. I don't like using them. I like using chalk. You can just use regular chalk that you buy for kids. You know, and what I like about this is it comes with a chalk pencil type chalky sharpener. So it's really useful. I find it very, very useful. So just so you can see better what I'm actually creating, I'm going to outline this image that means lots to me, that deserves to be in a awesomely dramatic frame. I'm gonna just shape him out in the black, in Mars black, so you can properly see what I've tagged out there. If you've been a member of my channel for a while, you may understand or even recognize him, because I love him so much. It's Gerald. And I did make the fret to paint Gerald. And I think Gerald will look amazing in a very dramatic frame. So when I'm painting, I'm using acrylics, and at the moment I've just mixed in Mars Black with burnt sienna, just to start giving my my first layers, my blocking in, so to speak. Oh, sorry, it just makes me chuckle. Look at his little face. Oh my goodness. So I'm just using my Mars Black now just to put in ideas of where I want some shading to be. A little bit under his chin, because don't worry, I will, if you are new, I will show you. You're like, what on earth? I will show you who Gerald is. But to those who have been following me for a while now, subscribed for a while, Gerald is my little mascot. He sits on my desk. He makes me smile. And I continue to make these alligators Yes, it's an alligator, in case you weren't sure. I have a small army of them now, along with the regular kind of alligators, but Gerald is the first one I ever did, and he is my favourite. So, yes. So I'm just adding a lighter colour. I'm trying to paint in a way so you can see what I'm doing, but in hindsight I wish I'd just done it the darker colour all over and then lightened him up for you. I think that would have been a better way to show you, but it is what it is. It was one of those moments when I knew that I was going to do a painting in the centre of the frame. I'm going to call it a frame. But it wasn't until I was actually sat at the desk and I'd unmoulded, and I was sat there and I was like, what could I do? What can I paint? And I just looked over and saw little Gerald sitting there looking at me, and I have to paint Gerald. I said in a previous video, I'm pretty sure I said in my Froggy Friday painting that I had to paint Gerald. So here we are. So giving him a dry again. This is just to make sure, because I do like to paint wet on wet, but on this occasion I needed that layer to be dry. So I'm just adding some cadmium, blah, 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 put my teeth back in. I've just added some cadmium yellow to my burnt sienna, and this is to start finding my highlights. Now, my Gerald is a browny colour alligator. That's just the colour that I cast him in when I first got the mould. I do realise quite quickly that I went a bit too bright too soon, and it was about a bit too yellowy. So I will knock that back in a moment with some of the burnt sienna. You'll also see that occasionally I'm taking paint off my brush with my kitchen roll by there. Still going strong. That kitchen roll has lasted me months now. It's absolutely ideal for dry brushing and controlling the amount of paint on your brush. And that rag on the left, that is an old muslin square that I used to use for my daughter, who's now 11. And I just, you know, if I clean my brush off, that's where I wipe off excess water. So he's starting to come together now, isn't he? And this is where it starts. It starts being more of a dry brush. Sorry, I can't speak today, apparently. So this is where it becomes more of a dry brushing effect, just to give his highlights. And he's got some rolls, hasn't he? He's a portly chap, is Gerald. So I just wanted to make sure that he had some of his lovely barrels. And if you recall, he wears a hat. I get all the hats and such from Temu. I'm terrible. I see them and I'm like, oh my goodness. I've got caps, I've got sun hats. I think I've ordered some straw hats. Oh dear. I got top hats as well. If anybody remembers the two the two alligators that I did, they wear top hats and have sunflowers. They're very, very dapper gentlemen, as they should be. Quite. So coming in now again with a lighter highlight. but I've knocked back on the cadmium yellow a bit. Don't want to have too much of that in there, but I still want the lighty brown. So I added some titanium white to the burnt sienna. The hat that Gerald wears is a lightish, very light brown. Oh, it almost looks like it's got like a pink tone to it, but I decided to stick with like the light brown colour, and it's got like blue stripes on it. It's a cute hat actually. Yeah. So just giving him his hat, and I realised that I needed to add a bit more of the rim of the hat over onto the one side. It was looking it didn't look quite right to me, so I looked at Gerald and I realised that his hat's got more of a rim around it. So that's easily fixed. Just like that, it's that simple. I just think it's fun. I don't think I remember saying as well that I've given him oh, that's what I'm doing now. I just popped into the titanium white to give him his little highlights in his eyes, and a little, just a little one on the ridge of his nose and the edge of his mouth too, and along the rim of the hat. I'm just taking out some phthalo blue, which I'm mixing with some titanium white, just so I can give the little lines on his hat. I'm not being precious about it. I'm not going deathly into detail with it, but I just wanted the idea to be there. Sometimes you can get so caught up in the detail and you just end up overdoing or overthinking it, so put the idea there. I know what it is, and that's the important thing. So I'm using the cadmium yellow because my Gerald holds a little flower. It's a little pink petaled one. I'm just getting out some cadmium red just to simply mix with some titanium white, and this will have another little coating. So he's just holding his little flower, just giving a little bit of a highlight up on top of his hat, just knocking that back a little bit, just while that flower has a little think about itself. And I've just got my monogram liner, and I've just added an extra highlight into Gerald's eyes and just around his nostrils as well. So there he is. Just a bit more. No, I didn't like that highlight. I went too much into the cadmium yellow again, so just added some burnt sienna just to knock that back, but still giving it a nice bit of a highlight there. Brings him to life a little bit more, doesn't it? And a dry. Just making sure he's dry now. There's still a few chalk marks, so I can just take that away with a lightly dampened brush. That's the great thing about using the chalk. Just like that. And that just erases any chalk lines you might have. Fabulous. I'm going to bring him up just for a better look. Check that. I'm really pleased with that. So here he is. There's my Gerald. So what I did, and I completely forgot to record it, I wasn't thinking, I used Mod Podge on both the front and back of the canvas. Let it dry, and now I'm using my J Diction UV resin just to go around the edging, just to seal him in place, because I want to use epoxy resin, give him a bit of like a encase him forever and ever. And I wasn't sure how the canvas might react. I didn't know if it'd try and curl, if it would bobble up or whatnot. So I decided that this was my best option. Now I'm using the very, very, very last bit of Apex resin that I have. That's from Just For You Online UK. It's a very good debubbler. So I'm just using the very last amount that I have until I order some more. And just being careful, because obviously I don't want it to pour over the sides, because that's just going to make a big old mess. There we go. And I'm just lifting it. It might, you know, if you can, you know, it does make things a bit easier. And then, you know, you can use your silicone tool or whatnot just to tease things to the edges. And although I had sealed the canvas with Mod Podge, I didn't pre-spray it with isopropyl alcohol. I wasn't sure, so err on the side of caution, I guess, and I just poured the resin in because I figured I could spray it afterwards, and I can also use my heat gun, which I'm doing right now. There you go. And it's easy to see. You can see what you're doing. So, you know, any big bubbles, you can keep an eye on it for half an hour or so. But as I say, I say it often, this resin is wonderful. It really, really is, for degassing and debubbling itself. And I added some glitter in there. I perhaps put a little bit too much in. But I think it works. So, I was just double checking that I hadn't gone over. So this needs to have a cure and a little spray. And there we go. I was just wiping off the isopropyl alcohol. I don't know why, I just did. So that's going to cure. So are you ready? yeah, I do think that it was a little bit too much glitter, but it works, and I'm so pleased. Gerald, the magnificent Gerald, immortalized in a resin. Oh my goodness. I am so pleased. I am really happy. It was fun. And what's resin if you're not having fun and enjoying yourself? So I hope you enjoyed watching. Thank you, Beebeecraft. Love you and stay weird.
Nerd Goblin art draws a magic world with foxes that prance and badgers that dance. A whirlwind of dreams with a single glance. Gerald the alligator grins so wide. In enchanted waters he loves to hide. Dragons breathe wonder with flames so bright. Each creature born from a magic night. Nerd Goblin paints life in every brush. Animals frolic in a vibrant rush. From canvases to tales